let's talk about UFC 103.
Yeah, you have a card? Who was on the fight?
I do.
Pull that up. 'Cause I'm so bad with names.
Let me bring that up. Okay, so UFC 103. I think from the last 3 pay-per-views,
Yeah.
this one I don't think was promoted as much as others have been.
I don't think it was either. I think they were gonna. I think their whole idea was to just put their name out there without, advertising it a lot, and just hoping that the fans will back them up.
But I mean, that was a pretty risky move. I mean,
Because I even told you that while the weeks were coming towards the pay-per-view,
right,
that I am leaning towards watching the boxing because they are showing me a better product right now.
Well, yeah, because of Mayweather.
They were showing it 24/7. They were giving you history on both fighters. There were a lot of things going on. The papers were covering the fights. They were giving you background information on both Marquez and Mayweather. You were learning a lot about boxing in a couple weeks than you were about the MMA. And I've been telling you that MMA is having a problem with information getting out there to the news, to TV, stuff like that. People can't learn about MMA fast enough.
Right.
And I don't think the UFC did anything to help that cause. I think they should have had a little bit more information put out there. They usually have a nice show that they put out there. I forgot what it's called, but it's when these the fighters come out and they do their workouts and they show them go through a whole day of workout and show you what it's like to be an MMA fighter. And I thought the UFC should have did that for this pay-per-view, and I don't think I saw that.
Well, yeah, and also too, I thought it was a risky move given the fact that it's a boxing pay-per-view they're going against,
Right.
and none other than but Floyd Money Mayweather.
Right.
And
we
that
went to
was
see the
kinda
UFC.
dangerous. Yeah, we saw the UFC. Believe me, it was a hard decision to
It
make.
was hard for me because everywhere that we were deciding to go see was either showing one or nothing.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. I really wanted to see the boxing fight because I knew that the 2 fighters in the boxing card were going to go 12 rounds. It wasn't going to be an easy fight.
Mm-mm.
And I told you going into UFC that Belfort's just going to run through Franklin.
Right.
Franklin was way too slow.
Right.
And it happened.
But
3
you know
minutes.
what? Surprisingly, I talked to some people, and they were actually surprised that Franklin lost.
Because the people who are surprised are usually newcomer fans. People who really know Belfort. Because Belfort's an old name.
Right.
It hasn't been in the UFC in a very long time.
No.
And a lot of people didn't know who Belfort were. And that's the problem. And UFC didn't make didn't put enough information about who Belfort was. They did an okay in the commercials saying he was this fast, explosive fighter, but they don't really give out the information. If they would have told you that he beat Vanderlei Silva in UFC, he beat Tito Ortiz, he fought against Randy Couture, he fought against a lot of top names, then people would have been more interested to see who Belfort is.
Right.
But they didn't give that information to the fans.
Well, I think it was poor advertisement.
It was very poor advertisement.
And I think,
And I think it was bad for Belfort because Belfort's such a great fighter and has been through a lot in his life and personal stuff that he should have deserved a little bit more attention than what he got.
Now, I don't believe for a second that Mayweather told Triple H, hey, you want to walk down the ringside with me? I doubt it very much.
I think he would rather have 50 Cent.
No, I think that this was a ploy, and if it came from Vince or whoever thought of it, this was my spin on it. I don't know if it actually happened or not.
Right.
But this is my spin on it. I think the only reason why Triple H walked down that ring with Floyd Mayweather was because boxing wanted to capture whatever Vince has to bring fans, the WWE fans, to order the boxing because they want to see Triple H walk side by side with Mayweather.
Right.
Hopefully that this would work. Now, did it work?
That didn't really get me.
No, it didn't really get me either.
That didn't really get me. I kind of thought that was kind of dumb. I mean, Triple H, out of all people, I didn't see him being, anywhere near Mayweather when he was on Raw.
And, also, too, they didn't really, it seemed like they kind of did it at the last minute. They made that decision.
Yeah.
And also, too, they didn't really, promote it on, SmackDown or.
No, they really didn't promote it. I don't think they wanted to. I don't think they wanted to be part of that.
Right.
But I think the fact that it got headlines and it was on the news and stuff like that it helped WWE.
So, I don't know. I really don't think it worked. I think I still can't find the numbers on who won the war.
Me neither. I'm hearing a lot of talk about both promoters saying that they both won. I'm hearing a lot of talk about saying that a lot of people walked out during the main event of the Mayweather fight. I'm hearing a lot of talk about the Mayweather fight not being a sold-out crowd. But then I'm also hearing a lot of people saying that more people bought the Mayweather fight than they did the UFC.
Now, I've been a boxing fan since Mike Tyson debuted.
Yeah.
Okay, so, knowing the fact that, and believe me, I was never an Oscar De La Hoya fan.
Me neither.
I was a Cesar Chavez fan.
He beat my favorites, man. Macho Camacho. He got me mad. I don't like De La Hoya.
But you kind of know and you kind of expect being a fan for so long and watching boxing for so long.
Yeah.
You know the kind of person that Mayweather is, and Marquez. Yeah, he's good.
Right.
But just right now, I really don't see anybody beating Mayweather.
Me neither. Mayweather's really good. I mean, I wanted to see the fight more to see Marquez, not a Mayweather. I'm not a big Mayweather fan. I know how good he is. Like, you can see how good he is. He's an amazing fighter. You can't take nothing away from him. But I really wanted to tune in to see Marquez. Marquez was a smaller fighter. He's had a lot of fights. He's had some amazing fights. I mean, highlight fights that you can just go back and watch over and over again and never get tired of. And I was just wanting to see this fight to go 12 rounds, and I was so happy to hear that it did go 12 rounds, and I'm sorry to say that I missed it.
All right. Hey, you know what? We lost Snowy Bop or Pete.
Yeah.
You think you can get him back on the phone?
Let me see if I can get him.
I don't know. He keeps cutting in and out. I don't know if he's having problems or... All right. So,
All right.
He's jumping on now?
Yeah, he said he's going on right now.
All right.
But UFC, I thought it was a good fight, a good card, good pay-per-view. I thought the undercard stole the show. There's a lot of talks on the newspapers and stuff about how short the main event for UFC 103 was, and again, I mean, there's lack of information about the sport. I already knew coming into it. Any other MMA fan should have known that Rich Franklin was way too slow for Belfort, and Belfort's is just a dangerous striker. It was very obvious that Rich Franklin would have won, but I came to see the show just for the undercards. I wanted to see Tyson Griffin fight Hermes Franca, and it was an amazing show. Hermes Franca didn't put up a fight for nothing. He should have they should have threw the towel in for him. I mean, he started doing something later rounds, but I'm so happy to see Tyson Griffin take the win off of him again.